So I've been getting some requests to make a more in-depth video on absolutely everything in my trailer, how it works, how I plumb everything, and how I built the entire thing. So I'm just gonna be going over, we're gonna go straight into this. I'm gonna show you exactly how I plumbed the trailer, how I bolted everything down, and exactly the tips and tricks that nobody really tells you. So first, starting out, the first thing I would absolutely recommend anybody, whether or not you build your rig on your trailer or you build it in the back of your truck bed, you're going to wanna put these hose reels down first. Now, this is just the best. We're gonna wanna coordinate these as well. And so you're gonna have a soft wash hose reel, a garden hose reel, and a high pressure hose reel as well. And I just made them all the same because I wanted to get the very high quality hoses. And you really want to make sure they're stable as well. I mean, these are good, especially to work with chemical with. It won't corrode as well as much, and they also have, I think, a protectant on them as well, which will aid to that. You want to make sure you're getting a very nice hose reel that does have locks, so invest in the good hose reels. You can either get manual crank, or you could get a it's one that automatically does it for you. It's kind of blanking me out right now. Oh, a motor on one, so it'll automatically do it up for you, and that does save you time. It's super, super nice. You could also get an attachment to have like the hose go throughout here, so you don't have to do it with your hand and the other, do the other thing in your other hand. Anyway, I just do these because these are already expensive enough right now. But if you do want to get those, it'll probably be around $1,000 a hose reel. These ones are around $400 a hose reel. And so you can imagine, but it is worth the investment. And so once you do have all the hose reels go ahead and put together, you're going to want to go ahead and look into the jumper hoses. Now, at first, I didn't even know this was a thing. And so what you're going to want to do is, obviously, you have the hose. Once you have the hose, you're gonna need a swivel. Well, the swivel's actually gonna come with the hose reel. You're gonna need a hose for the swivel. And so this is actually a separate hose that goes from the swivel all the way to the pressure washer. And then, for example, this one right here, the garden hose, is one that goes to this Y adapter, which I'll talk about in a few minutes here. And then the soft wash one is one that goes to the pump. So you're gonna wanna need all of these jumper hoses for every hose reel you have and every hose that you have. Just starting out with the pressure washer right here. Once this hose, okay, so the high pressure hose is going to the pressure washer. This garden hose, you're gonna go ahead and plug this into the client's house. This is a 4 gallon per minute machine. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about buffer tanks later. But this is what you plug into the client's house. Now, you go over here from the swivel and you'll see this Y adapter. Now, you cannot run both of these at the same time. These are ball valves, and so you can switch what gets water first. Does the pressure washer get water, or does the water tank get water for the proportioner and soft wash system? For example, you do not want to be doing this both times because it'll starve the pressure washer. You could actually get a buffer tank, so this tank can run out of the pressure washer. If you do have, I'd say, more than a 4 gallon per minute machine, you can go ahead and do that with. But for now, I would just recommend doing this if you have a 4 gallon per minute machine, and then you could just kind of adjust these ball valves like so. So if you are going to be doing it through the pressure washer, you flick this on and the water will be going to the pressure washer, but not the water tank. And so that's just a nice way of kind of plumbing it that I've found out. You could also put these clamps here. It just makes everything easier so the hose doesn't, move around a lot when you're driving. And then the one that does go to the soft wash system is this one. So when you're using it, you're gonna wanna go ahead and flip this on. As you can see, it's already on, so it's going to it right now, and it's already going to fill up this tank. Now, I wouldn't start the soft wash system until the water is at about 20 gallons, just because you wanna play it safe. You don't wanna be sucking air through your pump and damaging it. And then I do have a Hudson float valve right above here. So once the water does get up to a certain height, basically full, it'll go ahead and shut it off automatically. So I don't have to, adjust this ball valve. It's going to build up with a ton of pressure. Then I have to turn off the hose. No. So I'll just go ahead and recommend getting this Hudson float valve. It's the same ones that are basically in the toilets. And so it works pretty much the same. It's awesome. I would recommend getting it. It's like $20-$30 on Amazon or something like that. And then you do have a sodium hypochlorite tank, which is a chemical tank, and the surfactant tank. Now, you could just get a 5 gallon bucket for the surfactant since you're not pulling out a ton. I just got a 25 gallon tank for the sodium hypochlorite, and then I got a water tank that's about 50 gallons. And so it all kind of goes into here. It pulls from each of these tanks and it goes into the proportioner here. Now, they're all different sizes. You want to make sure you're getting different sizes for everything. I do have a chart so it shows you, where you're supposed to be at for everything. This is a very nice cheat sheet that I made. So basically what happens is, for example, if we're going to be doing vinyl siding, you're going to want to go ahead and turn the SH on 0.5%. So that means you just go over here and put it to 0.5. It's actually not 0.5%, it's around 1%. You just put it on the 0.5 tick. Water is always gonna be at 5, so it dilutes correctly. And then soap, typically you just put it at 0.5 as well, or even a little bit less, because you don't want to be sucking out a ton of soap. So the soap helps it stick onto the siding of the house. So it is very essential and you do need it, but you don't want to be pulling out a ton because the soap is quite expensive as well. And so that's going to go ahead and go through this proportioner. It's all going to mix together, and it's going to go into this hose right here, into the pump, and then into this hose through the swivel into the soft wash hose. And so you'll have a kind of a one on the end of here, a ball valve, and there you go. Once you turn on the machine right here, everything will be on, and that's how you basically use the soft wash system. Now, just some tips and tricks for everything else. Kind of want to tell you guys some other things that I would recommend having. So the first one is, we're actually going to start off with this trailer box. This is just super nice because, for example, you could put your battery in here. You could even put your pump in here. I chose to put mine out there just so I could change a little bit more easier and see everything. You can wire everything. This right here is a battery charger. So I just put an extension cord into there, plug it in, and it automatically charges the battery, which is super nice. You don't have to take it out and do all that, which it's really nice. I would recommend getting that done. And so yeah, the trailer box is just something I super recommend getting. Going over here, want to make sure you have some traffic cones, especially if you're parking the trailer on the street, just so people can get around you, safety hazard. I would recommend putting one here and then putting one or two right here. If you just have two, just put one right here and right there. So next we have a mount for the surface cleaner. Now, when I was looking around how to build my trailer, I didn't really see anything, no surface cleaner mounts that you could buy on Amazon or anything like that. So I had to make my own. Now, this already kind of does fit snug in the side of here, which is fine. It'll probably be fine if I don't even do anything to it. But what I did is put these Velcro straps. These straps hold, thousands of pounds. And so it's not going anywhere. It's staying here. It's really nice. I also got the wand down there. And I just want to show you guys something real fast. On the water tank, you want to make sure you do have a draining pipe right here. So you can always drain the tank whenever you need it. I actually just installed that a few days ago. Super nice. Wash your hands. Wash your eyes. If chemical gets in your eyes, always make sure you're wearing the safety glasses and equipment, gloves. But yeah, anyway, it's just a super nice thing to have. Now, going over here, how did we bolt down this pressure washer? As you can see, there are still wheels, but you can see there's bolts in the back of here. So what I actually did is I was like, if I'm going to take the pressure washer off the frame, it's going to be kind of vibrating the entire trailer. Bolts are going to come loose and everything. And so I made sure to cut these wheels on here still, just if we want to take it off ever, we could just go ahead and unbolt it. But it kind of absorbs by vibration. And underneath this, we do have absorbers that you'd put under your washing machine that do absorb the vibration as well. And so this really isn't vibrating the trailer too much. It's going to be absorbed by that. I did bolt in it over there. And I also did put these Velcro straps in that I do the surface cleaner with to the pressure washer as well. One other thing that I recommend is getting a nice box on your trailer. This could just hold, really anything. I just have a bunch of backup equipment in here, some chemicals. You could put really anything left over that you need in there. And yeah, I mean, that's really all the trailer consists of. You want to make sure you have extras of everything. It's just a pretty simple trailer build. A lot of people tend to have a ton of more things, or maybe a bigger water tank, which isn't actually bad. I was thinking of buying a tote at first. Then I was like, 100-gallon tank, 50-gallon tank. 50-gallon tank actually worked very well. And so how I strap this down, I just put a few of these D rings right here, and then I put this strap on here, and it's really just strapping them down. This thing's not going anywhere, especially for the amount of water that's going to be inside of it. Same with the chemical tank, and same with the surfactant tank. You also want to make sure everything is tied down in the trailer. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you are going to be building, say, a proportioner, you could put that on the trailer box. You could, put it right here like I have it, or you could really put it anywhere on the trailer, just on the wood itself. And you always want to make sure you're testing everything before you go to a job, because, testing everything just to ensure there's no leaks at all and everything, something you want to do before you go to the job site, pull up, and you have a bunch of leaks everywhere. But anyway, that is the entire pressure washing trailer build. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below. Again, just wanted to make this video to clear up some things, kind of show you guys how I do everything. Not just a quick overview of everything, but actually in-depth explain how things are done. And again, have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text on Instagram and the YouTube comments. And please make sure to subscribe as well. Thank you.